This is Rogue Wing, Coraline, or Helen RD over at Starship Modeler. Welcome to the workshop. Okay, back at the bench with CW. Got the first coat of primer on her. And while it looks pretty good, there are some areas that definitely need some work. There's going to be some smoothing issues over most of the hull. One of the things my son pointed out, though, is these grills that I put up in the intakes look like they were kind of just laid on. So I'm going to need to trim them up, close them in, probably use some Aves for that. But all in all, definitely looking good. The bottom needs considerably more work than the top does. But that's part of why we prime them, so we can see what we need to do. Okay, little quick update. Got the majority of the sanding done. Still some wet spots from where I was working with the Aves. Went in using the Aves, created frames around the intakes, as well as over the tops and bottoms of the intakes in the main engines. Need to let the Aves cure a bit, and then it'll be time to reprimer. Alright, we're outside in the spray booth, for lack of a better term, also known as the back deck. And we've got the new coat of primer on her. Looks like the framing on the grills is going to work out a little better than the original look. At this point, let the primer sit, and we'll go do the base coat of color. Okay, another entry for what's been a very busy and very productive day. Reprimered the bottom. Actually, reprimered the whole ship. Then reprimered the bottom gray after doing all my sanding. There's still some areas that aren't perfect, but at this point, I'm going to kind of let them slide. Still need to put the supports for the boarding ramp into place. I also got the top painted after pre-primering it. The color should not surprise any of you who have followed my builds. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the top of this ship is Tester's graphite dust. Looks like I need to go in and touch up a couple of areas that didn't get as thoroughly painted as I would have liked, but gives me a nice contrast between the upper and lower sections of the ship. Still need to do the markings and detail paint the engines and a few other places. I also need to do the cockpit, but that's where we're sitting at the moment. Alright, got a little more done, not a lot, but a little. Went in and evened out the graphite dust coat underneath the vertical stabilizers. Also went in and started detail painting the bottom. I lined out the cargo hatch, painted up the landing gear and the interior of the landing gear compartments with some graphite dust that I decanted from the rattle can. Used a black wash to bring out the lift exhausts. Painted in the bottom of the main thrusters with the graphite dust as well. Picked out the RCS thrusters in dark metallic blue, and took the masking off the cockpit and went in and primered and hand painted the cockpit frames. At this point, we're about ready for decals, which I've gone and taken care of as well. What we've got here is a bit of a custom set. This section is what I scanned from the original SR-71 instructions. I'm probably not going to use all of it, but I will probably use like the US emblems and maybe some of the others. I also went in and added the Omega 7 logo, as well as the Omega 7 Tau name and the Changewind 1 name. These are both printed out in a really dark gray to stand out on the graphite dust hull. Next time you see her, she'll probably have the decals on.